Hello, welcome to Shepherd's Guide on Africa Independent Television. My name is Tijani Zuleihat. I am your host. You'll be seeing my face to the end of the show. If you're just joining us for the first time, Shepherd's Guide is a program where we talk about money, we showcase business enterprises around you, we talk about entrepreneurship, and basically everything relating to money. So yes, you are on the right program. No matter the financial situation you're facing, no matter the economic challenges of the country or the globe, there are people who would always celebrate. There are people who would always, call in high esteem when it comes to money. They are the richest, the top richest in the world. We have the richest in Africa, the richest black man, the top 5 richest, and all of that. Now, what is common with these people? What is the one thing that is common with all of them? Let me save you the headache. The thing is, they all run different business enterprises in their own field. Yes, business is usually the solution to accumulating so much wealth that these people have achieved. Now, what is one thing that is also common with them? That is, they all run businesses that are different from the other person. They do not run the same kind of business. Now, what does that tell us? There's a lot to learn from realizing this, and that's something we'll be talking about after the break. So, see you after the break.
Lagos, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria. For this reason, AIT brings to you Shoppers Guide, a magazine program that directs your mind on the socio-economic activities of the state. Shoppers Guide will showcase your goods and services. It will also promote tourism and hospitality. Take advantage of the program and advertise your goods and services. Every day, man dominates his environment, buying and selling. Shoppers Guide will help locate areas of such commercial activities.
Hello, my name is Tijani Zuleihat. I am your host on Shepherd's Guide.
For advert placement and appearance, contact 0803 3316 955. Watch out for Shoppers Guide.
Before the break, I asked a question. Have we realized that these people do not venture into the same kind of business? What do we learn from that? It means that for you to be successful, you do not have to do the same business that someone else is doing. No, just because your friend is successful in a particular kind of business does not mean you should go into that kind of business too. If you want to venture into entrepreneurship, whatever financial situation you're trying to run away from, you have to study what you want to go into, find a passion in it before going into that business. You study it properly, you find out the possible chances of making money, the risk involved, and basically everything about the business before you go into that business. On the Shoppers Guide, we like to go on the streets and have a conversation with Nigerians like you and I, which is something we'll be doing right now. We call it Vox Pop, which is a voice of the people. That's something you'll be watching now and you'll be learning from. So stay with us and enjoy.
Talking about the economy, it hasn't been really fair onto Nigerians, but the thing with Nigerians is that we get to adapt with every situation we come in contact with. So relatively, if I could say about the first quarter of the year, it was fair, it was okay, but getting to the middle of the year, things became drastic and it was tough, but we had to still strive forward. I think that, and the situation now is that a lot of people want to leave Nigeria because the things are getting tougher. But I believe that people that still make it in Nigeria will make it, and people that still will not make it will still not make it. So I want to be optimistic about Nigeria, and that's my view about the economy.
Means once I take 1,000 naira and spend, even if it's just 100 naira, the money is gone because one thing or the other is coming. So money has not really had value. Everything has gotten expensive. I wouldn't say I like the whole economic situation. No.
I say the economic is very bad, and the government, they are not taking care of us. So I'm not happy with this present situation of the government.
It is also important for you to get professional opinion about the business you're about to get into. That is, if you're about to venture into a particular kind of business, find someone who is already successful in that business and get a professional insight on what it's really like to be in that business before going into that business. That is something that you should keep in mind before going into any business of your choice. We'll be having a conversation with a reputable entrepreneur who will be giving us professional insights on entrepreneurship in general and basically some things we need to know about entrepreneurship. So stay with us as you learn and enjoy.
Well, I'm Comrade Sherif Mulade, the National Coordinator, Center for Peace and Environmental Justice, a non-governmental, non-profit making, a non-political organization in Nigeria. We have offices in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Delta, precisely Warri, which is the headquarters of the organization. Yes, aside the humanitarian aspect of my activities, which has to do with the NGO, I am the group managing director of the DPG group of company. The DPG group of company is an establishment that is a major player in the oil and gas industry that provides services to multinationals and NNPC. Well, the oil and gas business in Nigeria today is thriving well, however, with a lot of challenges as a result of the agitation from communities, particularly in the Niger Delta, where the whole of oil and gas business resides, coupled with the militancy and other vices as a result of illegal bunkering activities, pipeline vandalism, interference, which we would describe as civil interference, and other sea piracies and all of them. So there are a lot of negative vices engulfing the entire oil industry. But however, we are making little progress, not as when these issues were not there. Well, the oil and gas industry is open. Anybody who is interested, who have knowledge about the oil industry can come in, because when you come into the oil and gas industry, you will identify a particular or a specific challenges, and if you have expertise in that direction, you can come in and provide solution. It's an industry that needs more people to come in so that we can begin to provide solutions to some of these challenges in the oil industry is facing. So it's open for others who are interested to come in. As I said, it has a lot of challenges. It's an industry that you can go in and you can do well, and sometimes you can come in and find yourself to be blamed in the oil industry. It has enormous risks involved. So I may not be able to enumerate them, but there are enormous risks, and there are also enormous benefits. So if you go into the business, it's a business that is 50-50. You can't just jump into the business, because you need vast knowledge of training that has to build your capacity to enable you deepen into the business. For every sector, every department, every area that you want to go in, you must have critical knowledge about the business so that you can able to take advantage of the opportunities within the industry. So there are several areas where you can build your capacity. Some of us who are involved, we have capacity that were built within and outside the shore of this country. Because in Nigeria, we have several trainings, programs in the oil and gas industry. Also internationally, we have many of them across the world. So if you want to come into the business, you need to acquire some level of understanding in the oil industry. Then, of course, even if you have resources on your own and you want to invest, you can as well partner with those who are in the industry. So when you partner with them, they become your technical partners, and you have the resources to maybe support. So your technical partners will be able to guide you in terms of bid, in terms of executing a project, in terms of pursuing that project, so that you can able to get return of your money or your investment. Well, the oil and gas industry has specialized or specific areas of interest. Around, for example, we have exploration and exploitation activities that has to do with exploring the oil, and you have to talk of exploitation of these products. Then refineries are also there. We have the marine, which we can refer to as a logistic department. The marine is there. The pollution remediations process are there. So there are various sectors in the oil and gas industry, which is very, very wide. But as I said earlier, if you are interested and you have expertise in some particular area, then you can identify and go in and make that area maybe suitable for the oil industry. Well, in every sector in the society, there are experts, and those experts who are doing that business, those who are not involved can refer to them as cartel. So in every industry, there are those experts. And now, yes, it is true that a lot of people refer to the oil industry as a cartel, that for you to succeed, for you to get contract, or for you to get something, is very difficult. Of course, it's true that there may be some of those challenges, but I don't want to really see it as a cartel, because one, NAPINS is there, NIPES is there, and if you are registered with these organizations, and if you have the capacity to bid for some projects or for some projects, of course, if you win, there will always, because there is no way you go and bid a project for example, the construction of an helipad or the construction of a road. You can't just go in to say you want to go and execute or you want to go and bid. So you must get knowledge about that project before you can bid for it. So I don't want to really see the cartel as a challenge, but of course, those who are in the field will want to see that it is only experienced people, because with the multinational or the establishment that wants to award that contract for you to bid, for you to execute, they also need somebody who has the competence, who have the capacity, who have the financial way to execute that project on behalf of them. So they won't just give it to anybody, and that is why you see that sometimes all these contracts are like recycling. Government on its part have failed to do the needful by providing these social amenities for the communities. So the communities will see those companies operating within the area as government, and they continue to express their displeasures, express their needs to only the company. Whereas government who have larger share and part of it sometimes pay lip service to some of these issues. That gives some unrest to the oil and gas industry. But on the part of government, I think, yes, government is doing their little bits, but what I think government need to do is to carefully look at the oil industry, because the oil industry is the life wire of Nigeria economy. So government need to look at it critically and possibly assign the oil and gas industry, just like NNPC is, to do to be fully involved, which is NNPC is doing, but NNPC should take responsibility of government by executing some projects in those communities, so that the people of those communities will feel and get sense of belonging from the oil and gas industry. Because today, those of us who are involved in the oil and gas industry, who are also from the area, will continue to blame government because government is not doing anything to help these communities. And it is only the little 45% of the IOCs that they are using to maybe carry out some of these their CROS in the communities. And so it's a big challenge in the oil and gas industry.
If you're an entrepreneur, or you spend money, or you're a salary earner, or a student, then this is the program for you. A wonderful documentary is about to show on your screen, which I want you to relax while you watch and learn a lot from that documentary.
The shop, as defined by the Advanced Learners Dictionary, is a building or part of a building. One can buy goods and services. Partially a compound, a place where things are made or repaired. It could be part of a factory where a particular type of work is done. It is also an act to buy things in stores, shops, for example, to shop for food, looking for things to buy. It could also be an act of giving information to a person. The definition is broad and endless, but let's state that it is from this definition we created for your delight Shopper's Guide. The significance and strategic location of Lagos in the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a hub and commercial nerve center of the nation motivated the formation of Shopper's Guide. So, Lagos is a destination of commerce, trading, buying and selling. It is also true that those who occupy the city of Lagos also find it difficult to locate areas where they can get goods, services at affordable prices. This basically is due to limited information on where commercial activities are taking place. Knowledge limitation on business transactions could hamper or reduce one to taking what is available as alternative instead of locating and buying what you really want. Essentially, lack of knowledge makes ignorance to be expensive. Very sad. So in Lagos, a lot of people are paying dearly for poor knowledge of what they want. Buying what one wants can give one real satisfaction, joy and happiness. Not getting what one wants can create heartache and sadness. For instance, under real estate, Shopper's Guide could create visibility on the property, as visuals don't lie, but today, due to advancement in technology, pictures could lie. So Shopper's Guide is anything in business made known to the public. Do you also have services you render, consultations you do to make life better for people? Let it be known that a lot of people within our neighborhood need our services but have no way to access us. Information can never be expensive. Shopper's Guide will create visibility for your business through our television program. The program is designed to create awareness that will build your business, expand your scope beyond providing for a few, but the teeming population of the city. So think out of your scope and make Shopper's Guide your guest in your business. Rest assured that Shopper's Guide is everything business.
To be a successful entrepreneur, it is important for you to keep yourself updated on trends in business around you and beyond. Don't worry, Shopper's Guide has you in mind, and that is why we present you business news.
Value-added tax and indirect tax imposed on domestic consumption of goods and services is practiced in developing and developed economies with the target of generating more revenue for a particular country. The rate in Nigeria has been operational at 5% for over 25 years. The renewed plan by the federal government to increase it by 50% to 7.5% is what these Nigerians are reacting to.
Why should we not have light, for Christ's sake, in this century? It's not about taxing. When government look right and left, they will just put body on the poor, people that are already suffering. Was it known to us hardship is creeping in and it's deepening in, and once you get there, you remove the ladder to hell with every other person. That is what our government is doing. We don't need incremental tax.
For these experts, Albert Folonsho, the challenge is not the VAT payments, but the input and output mechanism.
The tax devolves in successive stages, okay, such that at the end of the day, it is the consumer that pays the tax. Okay, it is an input-output mechanism process that is put in place such that when you buy to sell, you pay VAT at the point of buying. When you sell, you charge VAT at the point of selling, so that at the end of the day, it is the net difference between your output VAT and your input VAT that you pay to the tax authority. That is how VAT should normally operate. But in Nigeria, we have a little bit difference in the fact that some input VAT are not deductible.
To limit the impact of the increase, they call for reduction in personal income tax and the company income tax.
Yes, the personal income tax, for me, I believe the rate can also be amended a little bit lower, so that, because it is only the people that are paying that will continue to pay. So if you reduce their burden, they will be able to justify why the increase on the consumption tax, the indirect tax, should be applied.
As the federal government plans to amend the VAT Act and increase revenue from taxation by 3 trillion naira in 2019, tax experts stress the need for proper application of VAT as it's applicable in other countries.
In the spirit of keeping yourself updated on business trends around you, it is also important for you to be updated on prices of goods in the market. And that's why we have the market survey. So watch and enjoy.
Yeah, this one is full chicken, but we cut it and sell. Sure, you understand. But we said the kilo of chicken like 800, 900. It depends how it says. But this one, kilo of it, 1,000 naira. The way we shade it, Abi, this is 200, this is 300. We do shade it like this, but it used to plenty. Maybe like 5 or 6. That is back then. But now we shade it 200. It's because the price is also high at where we bought it.
Normal price 1,000 naira. Before it's 500 naira. This one 500. This one 1 kilo. It's 1.2. Half kilo is 600. 1 kilo is 1.2.
We have 3 different types of pomo. We have the horse, the cow, and we have the camel. This is the cow skin. It's usually brought from Agege, but we have pomo jebu. That one is the horse skin. 50 naira. We have the price of 50 naira. We have the price of 100 naira, and we have the price of 200 naira. But the size, it changes in size, not the price. Pomo jebu used to be more cheaper than this because it's horse skin.
We've come to the end of the show. I hope you've had a wonderful time as much as I have. Shepherd's Guide will be showing on your screen again, same time, same station next week. For adverse placements or anything you want to do on our show, you can contact us on the numbers showing on your screen, or you can contact me on my social media handles. Now remember, before you venture into any business, study the business, understand the business. If possible, take courses in business management to understand how the business world works before you venture into that business. Have a wonderful week and see you again next week.